Hello. I want to make a quick video before the sun goes down. I've been listening all day long to Valentina Lisitsa playing Beethoven. And I listened to some other interpreters, some other pianists, including Lola and Anastasia. And they're also from the East Bloc. So they're all three of them are from the East Bloc, Russia or Slovakia or Czechoslovakia. So there are some incredible people. Oh my gosh, there are some incredible people coming from the East Bloc countries in all fields. I mean, really real powerful brains are coming from there, and they're all amazing. So this is just my personal view on it, and I'm not gonna say, the other ones are worse or whatever, but definitely Valentina Lisitsa is not just on top of it all, but it's very difficult for me to even put words into this, because Valentina Lisitsa I don't know if anyone can understand this. It's probably difficult for other people to understand why this would make me cry, but I am shaken up. I am shocked. I am gripped, and I am so deeply touched by the way she interpreted Beethoven. I'm sure that Beethoven would have felt the same way. It's like an extension of himself, the way she plays this. Oh, it is like Valentina Lisitsa, light years ahead of everyone else. Not just the best worldwide, not just the best pianist worldwide, but light years ahead of the other people. And I don't mean to, again, I don't mean to say the other ones are bad or anything. Not at all. They're all extremely brilliant. Extremely brilliant. Those brains that are coming from the East Bloc countries. And also the people from the West and people from all around the world. There are amazing pianists. Glenn Gould, Glenn Gould used to be my number one. I have to say Valentina has taken that seat now. I'd say this is the first day today that I can publicly declare that Valentina has taken on that position of number one. For me, definitely. I don't know how other people feel about this. Maybe other people will feel differently about it, but that is definitely how I feel. And Glenn Gould is a genius, and the other people are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But Valentina is even beyond all of that. Valentina, that's another dimension. That's another dimension altogether. That is a person, and this is something I really desperately want to talk about before the sun goes down. When the self ends, you become one with the infinite cosmos. And that's what Jiddu Krishnamurti has been talking about for over 60 years during his lifetime. Every single day he has been talking about this. He has tried to get it from every angle you can imagine. He has tried to present it in any word he can possibly put it. But if you have not been there, if you have not experienced what it means to end the self, then you don't know what they're talking about. It's like blah 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 blah. If you haven't been there, and I would say most people come to visit that state of mind when they're completely at the end of their road, when they are recovering heroin addicts, when they are on rock bottom, literally, like in a rehab facility, where they're not even getting maybe an adjustment medication, and they are biting into the rug, literally. When they are at the very bottom, when nothing else, when no other escape route works anymore. Teal Swan went to Costa Rica by herself. I think, I don't know where she lived, but she said she practiced complete solitary existence for 3 years. She said it was so bad that she had to vomit. It was so awful that, you know, where you're determined to put yourself into a state where there is no more escape route that prevents you from seeing the nitty-gritty, from seeing yourself, from seeing the pain in your past, from seeing the truth of everything. A shaman goes through something like this. You can't become an energetic healer unless you have been willing to see the truth and give everything up. All thoughts, you know, the thought schools, the thinking process, which is the self, the religions, the scriptures, the dogmatizations, the imperatives of other people. Quit it all. Until you have completely dropped it all, you don't know what they're talking about. You don't know what it feels like. I want to be ruthlessly honest in this video, and I know it's probably gonna be a little bit difficult for some people maybe to hear this. I don't know, but I think it's I'm scared, but I think it's very important to say it. It's very important to say it. I'm also a fan of Lola and Anastasia. They are incredible, and also they are stunning, stunningly looking, Lola and Anastasia. And it's a delight for me to see real feminine, gorgeous, rock star, porn model, porn star, starlet type of gorgeous women that are so stunningly looking and sexual and gorgeous and 100% woman and feminine, divine femininity, being such extreme, brilliant pianists. World brilliant pianists that are really enjoying the music. But no, and this is not a judgment or anything. It's not a judgment at all. No, I love them. I think they're awesome. It's amazing. The but I bring in here is just my perspective on these things. I'm making a video. Okay. And it's not a judgment. The difference between them and Valentina is that Valentina has completely dropped the self. There is no more self in her. Even though sometimes she dresses up in incredible gowns and gala dresses and sparkling and feminine and everything, and has her hair done and has makeup on and is very feminine and passionate and all of this. Not always. Sometimes she dresses more boyishly, or she doesn't put makeup on all the time. That's all. It's very clear that's very clear when I see a woman who does not put makeup on most of the time. It's very clear what kind of person that is to me. Okay, that's someone who puts something else much above: the vanity, the self-appeal. So, and it's not a judgment again, it's all wonderful, the other girls and all of this. But the person who, she's neither judging the makeup or anything, but the fact that she usually doesn't put makeup on and doesn't put up a certain pose, like to highlight the sexuality or whatever. She doesn't put that pose on. She sits there like Beethoven would have sat there. She moves like Beethoven would have moved. She drops the self. She drops it. And there's something about that I'm trying to capture here in this moment. And again, there's no anger, no jealousy. It's not even jealousy. No, it's not even jealousy with the other girls. I'm kind of like, right now, I feel like in this moment, I feel like I'm beyond jealousy. This is not about it. I have that going too sometimes, but the other two girls, they're not even those type of women I would be jealous of. But, it's nice. No, it's their eye candy and everything. And as a woman, as a straight woman, I can say she's gorgeous. Why shouldn't we be able to say that, So, yeah, they're gorgeous. And yes, there's some jealousy maybe, but that's not the subject right now. Right now, this is, and I see most people are jealous of Valentina because I see that in the comment section. People are absolutely shocked. And I think that it will probably hit men hardest to see a complete woman, a straight woman, she's married to a man and everything. To see a complete straight woman, feminine and everything, become the music like Beethoven, more than any man out there or any other person out there could ever be. It's probably hitting hard. And these kind of things were bound to happen energetically, of course. This was bound to happen. The same with the architect Zaha Hadid, who also was a fully feminine, fully straight woman. Not only that, but she was from Iraq on top of it. And she became the absolute world best architect in history, and still is after her death, and will always be. It's tragic what happened to her. She didn't sleep enough, her immune system gave up. That was a great shock for us. That was a couple of years ago. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. So, Zaha Hadid, not just the best architect, but light years the best. And that made a lot of men really mad. A lot of male architects. I saw it in the comment section. And how hard they tried to put her down. How hard they tried to look for faults and they couldn't find any. And they just made shit up. When that woman was like light years ahead. And these things were bound to happen. This was bound to happen, of course. You know. So when I see people's comments on the internet, and I see the male ego in particular, how hard the male ego is trying to order the woman under him. He'll probably get away with some militant feminists with his own bullshit and finding fault with them and all of this. Yes, they're coming from ego themselves, and they're militant and they're aggressive and they're angry. But what do they make with people? What do they do? What are they doing with people like Zaha Hadid and Valentina Lisitsa? What do they make with those? They are not focused on femininity or masculinity or feminism or this or that. They are only interested in their work. They are so interested and so focused on their work with such austerity and passion that the work is in every cell of their bodies, without giving themselves up, or without giving up their bodies, or giving up taking care of themselves, or giving up their gender identity or their divine femininity, or all of these things. Still there, but their work, they put their work before themselves. They put the work, they are so into the work that they become the work. The work is more important than their petty self-image. Okay, that's what Jiddu Krishnamurti is trying to teach. That's what he's trying to convey. I don't know if maybe I got this more clear now with this video. I hope I did. I hope I did. And as Jiddu Krishnamurti always said, you can't teach unless you're really hungry. And that's how I feel right now in this moment. And when I have these moments where I feel like I am really hungry to get at it, you know what I mean? To get this, I really after the nitty gritty of this thing there, you know, which is usually an abstract. I'm trying to fish myself out this abstract thing that I have seen. And I am after it myself. It's not that I'm suddenly on a pedestal teaching something that I have understood now and other people aren't. I am still searching for this myself. This is also how we get other people interested in looking at it. Not through a hierarchical kind of attitude or situation. No one is on the pedestal. Nobody. Some people are just have shed the self. So that still doesn't put them on a pedestal. They're just in this moment they really get it. They really see it. They are totally immersed in it with their entire beingness. And for me, this makes me shake. I'm so excited about this. This makes me shake, and I am so deeply touched by that, by the way she plays Beethoven, particularly the Moonlight Sonata. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So please watch Valentina Lisitsa playing the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. And tell me how that made you feel. Okay, I want to hear how that makes you feel when you listen to this. And try to drop all these other things. Try to drop all the distractions. Try to drop your lust, your candy hunger, your self-pity, whatever people do to get away from the truth, from the actuality, from that what is. Drop it. Try to drop it in that moment and just listen to the music and take that in. And afterwards tell me how you feel about it, and leave a comment under her page. She'll be very happy to read it. However it makes you feel, and don't censor yourself. You can be something, could be something negative, it could be whatever genuinely comes up. Whatever, it could be a nightmare that comes up. Write it down. What comes up when you listen to this? Maybe something comes up in terms of jealousy. It could be too, maybe something that's more on the surface. There could be too, whatever is your genuine feeling, but also try to dive into really to the bottom of it and just experience the music, regardless of the messenger, the vessel who plays it, and feel it. And it's incredible what it does to me. Absolutely incredible. It puts tears into my eyes. It's so gripping, but Beethoven in general does that to me. More so even than Mozart and Bach or any other composer. There's something about Beethoven, there's a frenzy in that man. A frenzy. I can't say it in any other way. I saw a documentary film on Beethoven. We've also studied Beethoven and his life in school, way in the past, in Waldorf school. I already learned about the tragedy of him becoming deaf during his composing years. And not getting any help. The physicians didn't have any. They didn't have much of technology at that time. So stress, I think it started with tinnitus, and then tinnitus got worse and worse. Becomes like extreme ringing, like alarm bells or something that would try to overshadow his music, that he was the music that he was thinking and feeling in his brain. He was composing in his brain just like the other geniuses did. The music composer geniuses like Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart, they composed in their heads without writing it down. They had it all laid out in front of them just by thinking about it, and memorized at the same time. So they compose it in their head, and it's there. It doesn't go away. For example, if I have some sudden insight about something, I would have to write it down very quickly, or it starts to fade away. It starts to elude. I'm not a genius, so. But it's nice. It's nice to be able to write it down and make a video or something, and share that. There are geniuses in the world, and it is amazing, and we don't need to be jealous. Let's rejoice with them. Let's be happy with them. Let's be happy for them that they have that in their lives. And most people don't have very much of a mental treasure, because they have locked themselves up, like I said yesterday in my video, the enclaves. They have locked themselves up because they have also been threatened by their family to lock themselves up, or the devil would get them or something. There's no devil. It's the total double standard that's going on in the enclave world. The enclave is all ridden by the ego, collective ego. The ego is what puts the lid on it. If we can lift this, if every single person, it doesn't matter where you're from, you could be in poverty in India, and the only thing you have is sex, and only pleasure, or you're total thug and criminal, and have absolutely no morals and no ethics. It doesn't matter who you are out there. It doesn't matter who you are. You are ridden by the enclave world and the ego. Dissolve that. That's why, I don't know how to bring it to the world. It's very difficult to bring it to that world. That world doesn't vibrate on the same frequency. They don't even see my videos. Sometimes in chat rooms, some more people see what I write, and it's for them, it's like, it's unheard of. It's outrageous what I say. There could be an asshole saying, cut the heads off, Allahu Akbar, and they don't find that outrageous. But they find it outrageous when I say, bring all the whales back into the ocean. To them, that's like, to them, that's almost like, it's Satanism or something. That is, I just want to bring this into perspective here, how the enclave world actually thinks out there. A lot of people are somewhere in between, or they're part of the enclave world, but they don't want to really acknowledge it. If the moment they would acknowledge it, they would be already out of it. See, this is how it goes. The moment you acknowledge this bullshit, you're no longer part of it. And then the veil lifts, and the lid lifts, and the encapsulation is being dissolved. Yes, Papa Dog, all right. And you can free yourself in that moment. And then you see that you thought of yourself as some insignificant person that has nothing to say or has no treasures of the mind. and no virtues and no skills. But if you lift that cap that they have put on you, unscrew that cap, and you'll be tuned in to the infinite cosmos, and you'll be very surprised what kind of thoughts and ideas and associations and ideas on Papa Dog needs to get out, so, and what kind of stuff comes up suddenly. So you'd be very, very surprised. Too bad Paul has to close that door. He knows I'm making a video, but he has to close the door. Whatever. Yes, this is how it goes. Yes. Yes, yes, it goes, yes. See, okay, Papa Dog, there you go. There you go. There you go. Okay, maybe I'll go outside, make a video outside. While the light is still better here. So, yeah, that's how it is. So, sometimes I feel like I have certain thoughts, trains, or I make something and I feel like that it vibes on such a different frequency as my husband. And that brings up frustration in me. It makes me feel hurt also a little bit. Feel hurt because I don't feel seen at all. I don't feel, and he can't see it. He just can't see it. He can't see it. To him, everything is materialistic, and the material, this here, it's right here. It's like material. This is metal, and you and your grandfather, you had a personality conflict. Well, that's the whole reason why you didn't get along with him. You had a personality conflict. Yeah, and I'm gonna close the door even though you're making a video. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce doors and slap doors and yeah, whatever. Material. Everything is material. This is the kind of environment I live in. Papa Dog. All right. Yes. And in indigo, living in the enclave world. That's what it is. I mean, Paul has more sensitivity than the enclave world, but that's all he knows is the enclave world, sort of like, the best he managed himself out of it is coming to the plateau of atheism, and everything is materialistic and the rest is bullshit. So philosophy, what's that? That's religion. So that's how he thinks. So it goes to here and it stops there and it stays there. With clapping doors and metal hard clapping on top of each other, loud noises, sometimes some kind of Western song from the radio, or some kind of shit music, or like, yeah, it stays there on this materialistic plateau. It doesn't follow much. For very rare moments when his brain is a little bit more relaxed, it doesn't happen very often, but when his brain is a little bit more relaxed, then suddenly something else drizzles in from the infinite cosmos, and he recognizes it, and he'll go like, oh, that's kind of nice, but he doesn't know why or what's happening with him or any of this. So, and 5 minutes later the pots are clapping again, and it's back to brutality. So, or back to Ringo Starr, or I don't know, whatever. Shit, kind of. No, I don't know. I'm not saying it's shit. I mean, like, kind of brutal type of pop stuff. Western, country, Western. Not all of it's bad, but most of it. And he all listened to this indiscriminately. It's better to laugh about it than get angry, you know. It's much better to do that. But, you know, all of this is like being taken out of my train of thoughts, particularly when it is a subject like this, where I am absolutely deeply gripped, and then someone just slams the door closed, and Papa has to go to the bathroom, and he knows I'm making a video, and he knows that he is almost deaf, and I'm gonna be the one who has to interrupt the video and come down and open the door. So even if I say 10 times, I'm gonna make a video now. I am going to. I'm gonna make a video now, so please don't interrupt. Okay. 5 minutes later, bang, clap, slam, damn, bang, chuck, chopping something, bang, cling, chang, chang. Okay, finished. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was my sensitive video. It ended with some real hefty noises. Okay, that's how it is, you know, that's how it goes. We live in this world. Okay, we're not out there in the clouds, we're here, surrounded by brutes, by materialistic people, by enclaves, insensitive people. That's how it is. You know? It's like, why get mad? You know, Eckhart Tolle always said, why would you get mad at the wind pushing against your car? You know, would that create road rage? Like, am I gonna go into road rage because of the wind? No, I'm not going to. Because I know it's just the wind. So, hello wind. Wind and wind and wind. Das himmlische Kind. Yeah. So, but the human is not that himmlish. Okay, anyway. The last human. Take care, bye-bye.